Good day and welcome to Asia News, where we bring you the latest stories from across the Asian continent. I'm Ayaz, and here are the top 10 news stories shaping Asia today. China's economic reforms spark global reactions. China has announced a series of economic reforms aimed at revitalizing its slowing economy. These include tax incentives for tech startups, relaxed foreign investment laws, and subsidies for green energy projects. President Xi Jinping emphasized that the reforms will help maintain China's role as a global manufacturing hub while transitioning toward more sustainable practices. The announcement has had an immediate effect on global markets, with investors cautiously optimistic about the changes. However, analysts warn that the broader effects on trade relationships and regional economics will be crucial to watch. India hosts major G20 summit, sets ambitious climate goals. India hosted this year's G20 summit in New Delhi, highlighting its emergence as a leader in green energy. Prime Minister Narendra Modi outlined India's ambitious goals to reach 50% renewable energy by 2030. Discussions also addressed the need for global collaboration on issues like climate change, economic inequality, and sustainable development. Analysts say the summit could mark a turning point in India's role in shaping global policies, especially as the country pushes for a seat at the UN Security Council. Japan's new immigration policy aims to address workforce shortage. In response to an aging population and declining birth rates, Japan has introduced a revamped immigration policy to attract skilled foreign workers. The new program targets professionals in IT, healthcare, and engineering, offering fast-tracked permanent residency and integration support. While this marks a significant shift in Japan's traditionally conservative immigration policies, experts note potential cultural challenges that may arise. The policy could serve as a model for other aging nations facing similar demographic issues. South Korea rolls out digital currency, aims to lead in blockchain technology. South Korea has officially launched its digital currency, the yuan, positioning itself as a frontrunner in the race toward digital financial systems. The Bank of Korea is collaborating with leading blockchain companies to ensure that the currency is secure and accessible to the public. This move aligns with South Korea's ambition to become a technology powerhouse, especially as the digital currency is expected to streamline transactions, boost transparency, and decrease costs associated with traditional banking. The Philippines battles deadly typhoon, appeals for international aid. The Philippines is reeling from the impact of Typhoon Kiko, which has left a trail of devastation in its wake. The typhoon has caused extensive flooding, particularly in rural areas where infrastructure is limited. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has appealed for international assistance to provide relief and rebuild affected communities. Rescue operations are underway, but emergency services are stretched thin, prompting calls for global solidarity and urgent action on climate resilience in vulnerable regions. Indonesia approves landmark environmental protection bill. Indonesia's parliament has passed a groundbreaking environmental protection bill that seeks to curb deforestation and hold corporations accountable for pollution. The legislation enforces stricter penalties for illegal logging, mining, and plastic waste, while incentivizing sustainable practices among companies. Environmental groups have applauded the move, considering it a vital step toward protecting Indonesia's rainforests and biodiversity. However, implementation will be key, as critics warn that corruption and inadequate enforcement could undermine the bill's impact. Afghanistan's education crisis, a push for girls' rights to education. Amid ongoing international pressure, Afghanistan's interim government has announced it will review its policies regarding girls' education. Since the Taliban's return to power, girls have been banned from secondary and higher education, sparking global outcry. Activists and non-governmental organizations have launched initiatives to provide remote learning opportunities, though access remains limited. The move to review these restrictions could be a small step toward broader educational reforms, though the Taliban's stance on women's rights remains rigid. Pakistan faces fuel shortages amid rising economic challenges. Pakistan is grappling with a fuel shortage as the government implements austerity measures to manage its foreign debt. Long queues at gas stations have been reported across major cities, with citizens growing frustrated by rising prices and limited supplies. The shortages have added pressure on the country's struggling economy, leading experts to call for urgent reforms to stabilize the situation. Prime Minister Imran Khan has reassured citizens that efforts are underway to negotiate new fuel contracts and seek aid from allied nations. Vietnam becomes Southeast Asia's newest tech hub. Vietnam's tech industry is booming as the country attracts global giants like Samsung, Intel, and Google. The government's push to develop high-tech infrastructure, combined with a young, educated workforce, is turning Vietnam into Southeast Asia's latest technology hotspot. The shift is helping to diversify Vietnam's economy beyond manufacturing, which has traditionally dominated. This growth has put pressure on Vietnam to adapt its legal framework to attract more foreign investment and to continue building its IT talent pool. Thailand's tourism revival, an economic lifeline. Thailand's tourism industry is showing signs of recovery after years of pandemic-related setbacks. The government has launched Thailand 2.0, a campaign aimed at reviving the tourism sector, with a focus on sustainable tourism and eco-friendly practices. Thailand is now promoting lesser-known destinations to reduce overcrowding in popular spots like Bangkok and Phuket. With the winter holiday season approaching, the country hopes to draw visitors back, seeing tourism as a critical engine to boost the economy and create jobs. That wraps up our top 10 stories from around Asia. Stay with us for in-depth analysis and updates on these developing headlines. Thank you for tuning into Asia News.